Hey everybody, Brian the Wild Armenian, rat ride, carport, builder, mechanic, real estate investor, whatever you want to call me. Don't call me late for lunch, please, by all means. Hey, good seeing y'all. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I've been busy in retirement, having a good time. But my dogs have been sick. Both of them got kennel cough. Oh man, what a pain, man. Because they hack and they cough. And it's hard to get sleep because my one dog, Scooby, here, he just keeps hacking. And the veterinarian at Airport Animal Clinic here have been being really good, and they're working with us, trying to get both of these puppies. Daisy, too, she's not feeling good. So, we tried to do the right thing and put our dogs in lodging while we went on the trip. It's been 2 months now, and man, it's been a while. So, things happen. They had their shots too. We've kept up because you can't take them to places like that, unless you have all your shots and records for them. And we did all that, but there's so many strands, they don't have vaccines for everything. So, oh boy, what are you going to do? But I think they're getting better. So that's what I've been up to, dealing with the dogs, working on my truck, the 5 gardens, being the gardener here. And, retirement is good. And what this video is about is, and let me make a disclaimer here. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't work for the Social Security office. I'm not going to give you no advice, okay? And if you need to find out about your retirement and your benefits and everything, by all means, call the Social Security office. You can go online and find out. I don't know what you're going to get, what your earnings are. All I'm going to do is share my experience. And what getting to that, I got an itch right there, sorry. But what I'm getting at is many years I heard before I retired, oh, don't take your retirement early. You're going to get penalized. You're not going to make as much. If you wait until your full retirement age, you'll make more. And that mine was 66 and 8 months. Now, I'm not even in there. I retired at 65, so I retired early. To me, it was time, Now, 8 months, not even here yet. This is the 5th month, So we got a few more months before it would have been my full retirement. Did I jip myself? Me and the wife were talking about this the other day. And, and I said, well, let me go on paper. Let me just pencil it down now. Now that I've been, collecting my benefits from the Social Security office. Now, another thing, too. If I waited until I was 70 years old, oh man, and I calculated just for me, it was $500 extra a month I would be getting. So you could say, well, I should have waited until I was 70 because I screwed myself out of that $500 a month. And I'm going to get to you to show you why not really. Okay. Yes, that's right. I'm not going to get that $500 extra a month that I could have. Now, let me back up and say something. Now, all this is based on today's figures. Now, there's going to be COLA raises in the future. Now, what COLA raises are is with the bump on our benefits and the cost of living, and they call it COLA, cost of living, So the figures I'm going to give you today are not going to hold true for the future, okay? In other words, like I'm getting $1,700 a month, $1,760 a month on my benefits from Social Security. When I started for a few months, it was $1,643. So that shows you I'm getting more, and that's COLA raise. But what I'm doing is basing it on the $1,716. And I kind of backed it up because it was kind of hard. I did get a COLA raise. So I dialed it in there, a few cents here and there. Don't hold me to it. But it kind of gives you an idea. Now, I did a little sheet here. You can see that. And I was calculating. Now, also I do a budget. And I'm a stickler about budgets, and I take track of everything I do over the months that I've been retired, and what I spend. And, so very transparent what I'm doing here. Kind of keeping track of what I can do. I can survive on Social Security now. That's not, a lot of y'all know I'm restoring an old truck. And of course, you got to have money. You got to have investments and stuff for that kind of stuff. But, have money on the side. But besides that, you can live and survive off Social Security. I'm proving it here. If, let's say I never had the truck And that's, didn't have that truck, then I'd be living fine, comfortably on my Social Security benefits. And it does work. If, you got to be frugal. You got to have a budget. You got to have everything paid for. That's the main thing, too. No credit cards. I do use a credit card, but I pay that thing off every week because I do that for a security reason. I feel safer. I don't want nobody to hack my bank account, so that's why I use credit card. And but other than that, no, I don't have no balance. I don't carry a balance. I don't pay interest. I don't have no loans. Everything's paid for. No car payments. No payments. None whatsoever. Only payments we got is electric, utilities, that kind of stuff. That's it. So we're debt-free there. Okay. So here's my little cheat thing. Now, if I would have waited until I was 66 and 8 months, which I did not, I retired at age 30. Let me go over my little notes here. Bing, 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 bong. Okay. Up to date now. Yeah. What I did is I cheated a little bit. I went into the future because it's hard for me to do this 8 months. And I went with, 10 months. Let me get the calculator. I think I just made a mathematical problem here. Let me see what I got. No, I didn't. I did right. Okay. 10 months, 1643 was 16,430. Okay. And now the 8 months making now the COLA raises, that's where I confuse myself, is 1716, which would be 13,000, boy, slow down, 728, which grand total up to date is $30,158. Now, if I show you that, you'll see that where I'm talking about, where I calculated that, okay? And I went over and over it. And, I kind of confused myself with my writing. I can't even read. I stink at writing, trust me. But anyway, my math is okay. I'm doing okay. So here's the good mind game I played. Gee, I should have stayed working. Oh, I screwed myself out of that money. But here's the problem is, it would take me, okay, let me see, estimated. If I waited until I was 66 and 8 months, 13,000 plus 16, I would have missed out on $30,000. Did you hear that? Let me repeat that. If I would have waited until I'm 66 and 8 months, I would have screwed myself out of $30,000, $158. Yes. You go, well, wait a minute, Brian. No, you wouldn't. You'll end up making more. You're right, too. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. Okay, I calculated holding out was $100 extra a month I would have made. Okay, do the math. That's $1,200 a year. Okay, times. Okay, now you remember, if I waited until I was 66 and 8 months, that $30,000 I'd have never seen. It would take me 25 years to catch up to that, to where you could say you justified that. You get what I'm getting? Let me repeat that again. That's $100 extra a month I would have made if I waited until I was 66 and 8 months. Times that a year is $1,200, right? Okay, 1,200 times 25 is 30 years. Think about that. Let me do that. I'll go on the math here. Let's just do it here. I got my computer, my laptop. Okay, and let's see, 1,200 times 30 equals 36,000. Okay. All right. There's where I screwed up there. All right. I'm $3,000 off on that. But still, think about it. Really think about that. So let's shave the 30. Let's just shave the 30 years down. Let me cancel this. Let me do this real quick. Okay. 29 times, oh boy, 29 oh, there it is, duh, times, okay, equal, bam, 33,000. Okay, so 20, I'm going to say probably, 20, I believe it would be more like, work with me here, folks. Let's go 28 times. Okay, we're going to dial this down. Okay. Times 27. We're getting there. I think I'm going to find more that it's going to be 25. Let's go 25 times. Okay, 25 years. Aha. Found a misprint there. Okay, let me change that right now. It's good to double check that. So, and you know what? By golly, I did it right anyway. Look at there. All this time, I got confused. So I had it. I had it right here. 25 years. Aha. So I was right. So it would take me 25 years to break even because I waited until I was, what again, 66 and 8 months. Now, let's see how old I would be now. So, 70 years plus 20, what, 5? I would be 95 years old. 95 years old. I'd have extra money at 95 years old. Yeah, I would have finally caught up to not retiring by waiting. I would have finally caught up. Okay? Argument? You're right. If you're saying you'll make more, you should wait. You're absolutely right. But I'll be 95 years old. What the heck am I going to do with extra money when I'm 95? I'll take up water skiing? Think about it. You know, sometimes you got to really work this out on paper. And I did this before I retired. I really did. And it's been now a few years now. It's been over 2 years. And I think it's been 3 years because I was work before I retired, you know, at this time now. So, you know, you got to weigh things out. You know, is it worth it? Okay, yeah, you can make more. And if you've got a life history in your family, everybody lives to 100 years old, then yeah, do it, man. You 95, you got an extra 5, then you made out really good. Some people have enough money that they just draw their 401s or whatever and wait until they're 70 to get that extra money. More power to you. But you know what? My thing is, and I'm not talking politics. I don't care what president we have in office. That's my money they took. And if the quicker I can get it, the better I think I am. And, you know, really, and it's rigged that way. I'm sorry. I think Sarasota Tim said that too, you know. It's kind of rigged that way. And I kind of go along with that too. Why not just give us, when we're 65, give us the whole full amount anyway? Why bribe me up to that year to be 70 to give me more? We know why. Do we have to really talk about this? Do we really need to go there? Now, let's do this. Okay, let's say I wait until I'm 70, okay? Okay, at the current rate of 7 years from now, okay, for me, you know, I would have, let's say, because I retired at 65, until I'm 70 years old, I have drawn, this is in the future. Now, I'll mind you again, COLA raises, I'm working on today. This figure could go up. I hopefully don't go down, but it could go up, okay? It should go up. But anyway, $144,144, okay? If I wait until 70. I mean, because I retired and when I turn the age 70, that's what I'll make. I've had made, sorry. I have made that by retiring it at the age 65. Now, of course, that figure, like I said, will go up. So there you go. Again, how long would it take me if I retired at the age of 77 to get that $500, the break-even point of retiring early? And that's what I'm getting at. So it's, for me, I think I did really well by retiring early. Kind of like, I guess, what is the best scenario? It's just like the other day, we got a Publix grocery store. The wife says, oh, they're expensive on a lot of stuff there at Publix. Why don't you just go to Walmart? They're a little bit cheaper, and buy those ribs, okay? So I go over there. I got a plan to spend $30. I get out of there $60, Walmart. Had I went to Publix and paid a little bit extra for the thing, I probably would have spent my $30 Target. So, you know what I'm getting at? So in other words, sometimes if you think you're saving money, you're not. If you think you're benefiting by waiting, you're not. In one way. And that's what you got to look at. Sure, if you got plenty of money, I know people that got tons of money and they laugh when they go, oh, Social Security, I just leave it alone. That's nothing to what I got. But, even if I have a lot of money, I'm sorry, I'm going to collect it. It's my money. I worked hard for it. They started taking that out when I was 14 years old, back in the early 70s, and I figured, and to be honest with you, at the time, I didn't think that the way they were talking, Social Security was going to be around, so I figured might as well get it while I can, So there's something to think about. Weigh out the numbers. Call the administration. Go online. They got good charts, and the charts will show you what you can make at certain ages. Go by what you think. If you need that extra $50 a month, or whatever it was. And at this point now, I think I wrote it down here. I think it was $100 difference here on me retiring early, which I did. I could have retired at the age, and I didn't mention this, I could have retired at the age 62. And that would have brought me, a little bit 3 years there. But here's the thing. The only difference, the reason why Medicare kicked in at 65, and that to me was my green light to go. And that's why I waited. So this is real time. This is my experience, my strength and hope, how I did it, what's working for me. I'm a real live person with realized problems with my dogs and stuff like that. But then I got realized mathematical figures. And getting back to that conversation me and the wife say, do I regret retiring early? Hell no, really. Because the fact is, like I was saying, I was working on that truck, that old truck, a lot of y'all seen my videos. And then sometimes, creeper, a lot of y'all know what a creeper is. It allows you to go in and it's got wheels on it. There's some days, even today, I get on that creeper and I don't want to get back up. It takes me a while to think about getting back up. And what I'm saying, I'm not trying to tell you that I'm falling apart or anything. It's just I move a little slower. And I'm at my go-go years. And go-go years is when you're young, and you can do things. When you get older, things start happening in your body. And so, that's what you got to think of. Consider that too. And a lot of you go, well, you'll need that extra money for Medicare. No, that's what Medicare is for. You know what I'm saying? Now, my hands are starting to hurt, So, and that's signs to show, that time, wear and tear on the body. Now, my mom's 98 years old. My dad died when he was 70 years old. Okay. And so here you go. I'm 66. And So, I don't know. I try to take care of myself. I don't smoke or drink, and I try to eat well. I try, I try. I sometimes have a bad habit every once in a while eating chips or something like that. I try not to do it all the time. Me and the wife are trying to be conscious, and you don't know what can happen. I could walk out the street tomorrow and get run over, So I feel I'm very satisfied with my decision of retiring and pulling the trigger on retiring and when I did. And that's to each and every one of y'all. But the most important thing, like I said, be debt free. Have no payments. You know what I'm saying. Now, if you got a 401k and not, and you're drawing money other ways, and you got lots of money in the bank or something like that, you can afford to have a car payment. That's okay too. If you got a low mortgage payment and you can ever manage that, but that's up to you. You got to get this old pencil and paper, and if you're savvy with the computers, like I'm not sometimes, but you can do it. So anyway, I hope I was able to help anybody. A lot of things important today. You know what it is? Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, my wife. I better say that. My kids, I love them. My family, I love them. My friends, love them. My country, USA. And you folks, you know what? You guys are important to me. Please, by all means, take care of yourself. God bless you.